Prophet is an open source library from Meta that allows you to fit your time series very efficiently and quickly. So I built a project to try to play around with it a bit on Bitcoin prices. I ran the results on my data that I found online, and I cleaned it up and made it available in this repo. So if you want to play around with my data, you can easily use it with just pd.readparquet with this URL. So let's get into the application itself. You can play around with the app at btcforecasts.fly.dev. Here is some high-level description of the data. We have about 5,000 rows from 2011 to today, 2025, April. And here's the graph of the data in linear and log scale with the 200-day moving average. We're here today to play around with Prophet. So the first thing I did is just directly feed the price in Prophet to see what would happen. And you can see that what Prophet did here is try to fit a linear function in it. It predicts 118, and so this fit, it does not look so good to me. So the first thing I did is to fit on the log of the price instead, to remove the exponential growth. And you can see here the fit is quite a bit better. I'll go down a bit to give you some idea. The first thing I want to bring your attention to is the yearly seasonality. We notice a bearish trend, if I can say, during fall, and bullish behavior during Christmas to spring, which is what the stock market does typically. So here the forecast in the original scale. So if you scale it back into the original scale, you get a prediction of about 200K 1 year from now, which seem a bit more realistic than what we got before, with the upper hand at maybe 90K and the low end 35. But there's quite a few hyperparameters that you can try to tune here. This was just with the default behavior. So I did a little bit of cross-validation and tuning. So you can try on this app different parameters for your training set, cutoff, and forecasting. I won't run the results here because it's a very slow CPU here. So I ran the results locally instead. So here's the best results. The main takeaway from this tuning run is that you want to have the change point prior scale to be somewhat low, around 0.001. You can see that all the best combinations have a relatively low amount for this parameter, whereas the seasonality doesn't matter as much. You can see that that's what maximizes the coverage. So if we use these parameters, let's say we're going to use them in this app, go in the log model, and then you can try to change the parameters. Let's go 1. You can see here it's a more consistent trend, and we have better coverage with this model. And the predictions are 160K 1 year from now. The upper hand is 400K and the lower hand is 60K, which in my opinion is a bit more realistic for the upper end and lower hand. So if you want to play a bit with this application, it's available. It's public at btcforecast.fly.dev. Or if you want to have a bit more performance, clone it locally and run it on your machine, because it's running on a small machine here on the cloud. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.